Hello and welcome to the Essence Talk podcast. I am Jasmine and here with me are Veronica, Anna, and Janice. And today we're going to talk about the female energy, misunderstandings about the female energy, and the archetypes. So, before we start, I would like to read something that I prepared for today, and then we'll start going with the talks. The feminine energy is the soil of the earth, is the womb of life and the water that nourishes. She is the invisible force that receives, transforms, and gives birth. The masculine energy acts and the feminine transforms it into life. Within each of us, the feminine appears in many archetypical forms. Mother, that is, who nourishes and sustains life, protects, and are vigilant. The maiden, curious, spontaneous, and full of wonder, who creates, dances, and transforms. It's innocent and free. And the crone, keeper of wisdom, who understands the ending are also the beginnings, experienced, and knows when to act and when to listen. These archetypes are not roles, they are expressions of the same creative essence and lives within each of us. They move through us in cycles, just as the seasons move through the land. But society and our modern life has been disconnecting us from this. And sometimes we believe that feminine energy is weak, but there's huge power in being feminine. The real femininity is not about being weak, it's about being strong. So with these words, I will let these ladies comment about how it is for them to be a woman, to be connected with the feminine energy. Maybe some of us are still working to get in balance. Let's see, who wants to start?
I like the archetypes. I can start. And I feel like femininity is, to me, is creation. And for a long time, I still have trouble with combining both feminine and masculine energy. And when I first met Yasmin in January, I remember she told me, Veronica, your life is so full of masculine energy. And I got offended and I thought, you're calling me a man? Like I was thinking, what do you even know about my life? How can you just describe it like this? Yeah, well, I guess the anger and the reaction itself is kind of masculine instead of so I've been trying to understand what femininity is and what is the female energy. And so I'm a yoga instructor. I teach every day. And the first time I really got to understand the feminine energy before was when I started teaching yin yoga. And for many years, I was laughing at it, or people who were doing yin yoga, they were, I don't know, the boring ones, not necessarily the weak, but the ones that didn't take challenges and they were meditating. Why not just call it meditative yoga, but they have to call it yin? And then I took a course in yin yoga, and it was all about that balance, the yin and yang. And I talk about it when I teach now. I'm the wise person now who knows exactly what the balance is and what's the femininity, masculinity. Whether the truth is that I'm still learning it myself, but I guess that's life. But creation and flowing, going with the flow, and letting the world happen when you stay still and watch it with curious eye. That's one definition of femininity for me. The second one is as you said, dance, the creation. When I teach the power yoga, which we don't do like a gym stuff, we flow. And I mix up different methods in that, and I feel like it became much more feminine this year that I've been trying to understand myself. And there's this thing called qigong. When you move around the hands, the secret geometry, I started adding it some months ago to my flows. I would love to do some yoga with you ladies because it really gets my essence to flow and brings me so much joy. And I really feel like a powerful woman when I have 20 people in front of me and we're all moving, you know, like just moving like a river, like a flow with the hands around, and yet we're calm and delicate. And we don't do push ups, but we flow powerfully.
I
How
love it
beautiful.
with you. Yeah.
I can give you that little glimpse of that. Yeah.
That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I will describe how I found my femininity side. Um, just just recently, because I took the role of my family that nobody put me in that role. I just took it to be the provider, not only with my brothers and sisters, but also the provider for my own family. And when you do that, you really unbalance yourself. Uh, it was very unconscious to me because, when you live in a survival mode constantly, um, you think you need to do that in order for, I don't know, to protect your family. And so I used to do this with my partners, and this is why it is important. I'm in my early my 40s, in 30, I'm 39 now. But and I discovered this through my relationships because I took the power away from the masculine side. I was acting like it was my role for me to protect them, to provide, and wasn't just last this year that I have realized through our retreat that the Jasmine does that I said, okay, I have been doing and neglecting myself and to taking the power away from my partner. So I said, okay, I want to balance it. And how do you balance it? Just it's not a role, but it is the side of you. Just mm, nurture your family, being in their presence. You don't need to go on the survival mode all the time. And why, as you said, mm, we are really powerful, because I do believe women are the portals of that we bring. We're talking about spirituality. We're talking about these souls that they are very advanced. We are the portals that we can only bring on this earth. This is the way we bring these magical beings, which are our kids. So this is why in the society it's been so distortion. And they put us, boys don't cry and girls have to be strong. But in the reality, we just take in the natural state of our feminine side and masculine side. Once I realize that, I am more balanced myself. I don't have to take any power away from any man. And I feel, even you can see them, like my friends, they were saying, like, what have you done to yourself? It's just because when you take this power back to you, which is your feminine side, you can see from inside out. It's just the change I have been through this year. Think things friends like Jasmine.
Oh, thank you to both of you. And that makes my work so much more meaningful when I hear stories about how, with a little bit of help, people can transform their lives because your girls are doing the job. For me, when I was reading about these archetypes, then I would be the crone, with the experience, with the with the wisdom, and the wisdom for me, and connecting to awareness, connecting to my essence, was like what made transformation. Before, I was like this kind of girl that, oh no, I have my period, it's bothering me. And then I realized that it's a unique opportunity that my temple, my body, can give life. Does not need to give life, but I have 4 wonderful children. But it's like accepting who I am, because I believe today that magic that exists, really exists, has to do when you get balance, what both Veronica and Janice have talked about, to getting that balance between the yin and yang. The magic happens when we believe, that is, when we don't see it. That's when we talk about the not invisible worlds. Like now we're going into autumn, and it's going to get dark here in the northern hemisphere, and we believe that nature is dead because it looks sad and dead, but under the trees, then everything is growing. Everything is like Mother Nature is like being her best to later on come to life. And introspection, connecting to ourselves, reflections, this is part of femininity. This is part of the inner growth. And as long as we are we mentioned it in other podcasts when we were talking about the art of being present, how that helps us to become more ourselves. And this is to be grounded, to be in the feminine part, in that magic inside of us that both men and women have, but for us is a natural part because we were born with it. So for me, this is a must do, must work, because this is creation itself.
You mentioned something about the cycles and the period. I don't usually talk about it, but I do have this the PCOS, the polycystical ovaries, and that I didn't feel it because for 9 years I was on birth controls, which made it invisible for me. But now I've been off those medications for 2 years, and it's been going through a lot of fluctuations, and it's been going through a lot of changes, and I feel like for so long I cannot get in touch with my own cycle because it changes. At some point the period didn't come for half a year, and it's just, and everything gets in pain. I feel like everything gets inflamed inside of my uterus because there's none of that constant flow, constant change. And when I go to doctors, they say, well, maybe you're obese, or maybe you have diabetes, because those are connected. And they all say to me, yeah, maybe you should try to find some more balance, eat healthy, work, exercise. I told them I'm a yoga teacher. I do exercise, but so they cannot help. So then I went into the holistic approach, and I'm thinking, well, how on earth can I get close to my femininity and understand myself if my own body is not feminine in that way? And I haven't tried to get pregnant yet. It will come, but how can we talk about giving life? And I know there's a lot of women who suffer and struggle with that. And I wonder, I don't know what I wonder. I wanted to share.
Thank you for sharing, Veronica. And I can tell you that I have diagnosed the PCOS too. And I lost my period. I was 35 years old. And I work a lot. The more I connected to myself and my femininity, my period came back in when I was 42. So I had period for about 10 years after that, because it's not natural to have this kind of let's call it letters. And but it has to do a lot with the process. Everything has to do with our process and how we look at it, how conscious we are about it, how much are we willing to work with it. And I remember when they told me that maybe we have misdiagnosed you, and I was misdiagnosed for several years till I changed it. But it is the same thing with other sicknesses that I have had, that I've also changed. And I believe that that's part of my mission, to learn that, to part of my progress in life, part of my experiences as my soul experiences in this world. So look at things from another perspective. I think that that helps very much. I'm not going into, you have mentioned, and Janice have mentioned in other episodes about not being the offer, not being the victim, just watching things from, what can I learn here? Use your maiden energy and say, oh, how can I look at this? I think that will help a lot.
I understand. It's just hard to use the creativity and joy when everything hurts.
Yeah.
It's a challenge, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It was very much a challenge. So lucky Janice that hasn't experienced that, but you have experienced maybe other parts of being women that are not
No,
maybe.
I have experienced that. I don't mention it. I have in my pregnancy, they told me that, well, this is why it's very painful to you, because I have polycystic ovaries. But I didn't really pay attention because I'm like, if you say so. But okay, I was seeing that in the screen, but I didn't really, okay, it's fine. Just didn't put attention on it. Like I didn't put focus because I don't know. But yeah, I do. I don't talk about this. It was very painful, but then it's gone. It's gone. I don't have it. Um, but yeah, I
The
have
pregnancy
learned.
was painful?
Hmm?
Oh, why do you say it was painful? I don't like that.
But you don't, this is the thing, if you do not put focus on what is happening, eventually it will go. I mean, it gone to me.
I like the idea. I like that both of us have had PCOS.
Yeah.
Still have it, but it doesn't direct my life anymore. It's not like before, the pains and all that stuff. It's like I know it's there, but it's not directing my life anymore. And this is with everything, with diabetes and with Hashimoto. Those are sicknesses that should really be like, oh, I'm so sick, and it's like, okay, it's there. That's it.
Yeah, I know.
So
I know
this is
what you
just
mean.
giving you hope, Veronica.
The only thing that bothers me is the pain in the lower belly in the second part of the cycle. The first part is normal and I'm happy and I'm normal. But then the end is like blah, it's like slow and I'm waiting for the period to come and it never comes. But anyways.
For me, it helped a lot to warm my lower belly, to have a like
That's
to have
good.
a warm, and to go with my feet wouldn't be I wouldn't be able to go without shoes
Does
because
hot
the pain.
yoga count?
Huh?
Does hot yoga every day count?
Yeah, but you are just hot when you're doing the hot yoga. But otherwise, I had to cover my feet because then I will have pain in my lower belly. So it's like finding out what is good for you. Maybe drinking some cannel, some cinnamon tea is good because it warms up the body. Finding out what is good for you. But this we could have for another. I
Yeah.
think this is exciting topic for women.
I know.
Does society believe that dark is bad? Like winter is sad, or why? Why, when it is related to nature and what is related to femininity? Why do we think it's no place to go, or it's sad?
Well, you're the first person, Yasmin, to tell me that winter is not sad. So, I mean, I'm still very new in this, and I look outside, everything is still green, and I love the autumn, as you said. The yellow colors, the red, the leaves are beautiful. But then at some point, especially in Denmark and Northern Europe, it just doesn't seem so pretty. And it's raining, and the trees are naked, and it's natural that the colors make it prettier, so you have to look for beauty in a different way. And I guess it's a matter of learning how to see that beauty.
Yeah, it's funny because three of us, we are wearing black today. And I don't see nothing bad or or it's pretty, you know. But I think it's just we're still living in a dual or polarity world. Like it's dark and it's bright, black and white. But when we think and when we know that one thing is nothing without the other, like the masculine energy is nothing without the feminine energy, and both emerge and complement each other. When we understand and integrate this, we will welcome all of the colors or all of the experiences, because at the end of the day, nothing is bad or good. It's just experience. Maybe I'm going out of the topic, but but it's how I feel it. I was, as much as I was giving my masculine energy, I really needed the feminine energy on me, just to be my authentic self. Because without that, I wasn't feeling powerful, you know. So yeah, that's it.
Take that you mentioned about the white and black, the yin and yang going there. When we see the yin and yang symbol, then we see that when it's darkest and most uh, uh, broadest, and then you have the yang energy inside. And when it's the opposite, that when it's the maximum yang, that's the thickest part of the yang, the light part, and you have the yin inside. And seen from the shamanistic point of view, is like life happens between that contrast into yin and yang. And that's why the balance is important. That's one of the things. The other thing is that what Veronica mentioned, and now I'm going to be very shamanistic here. It's like you mentioned about the autumn and winter, and how autumn is nice and beautiful. But what do they do? What do the plants do in autumn? They become beautiful and then they let go all the leaves, and then that covers the seeds that they have. It's a process of yin and yang all the time. And then the leaves come on top of the seeds. They protect the seeds to they can bloom again when the sun comes again, but be protected by the mother, by the wet, by the be nourished by the soil before they come up again. So it's about letting go, replenish, regenerate, and come back in the sun, start growing again. It's as a young process, and then blooming, and then giving new seeds or new leaves, and then go back to give away. And this is not only on the seasons, this is a daily thing, this is a weekly thing. It's like processes during the life. And we just forget that we are part of that process. I just wanted to mention that.
Thank you.
One last question before we start resuming. What do you want? What more do you want to say? I have a question, and it's about what do you believe that truly connects you to your authentic self? When do you feel you are connected to your inner magic?
Wow, it's good. It's very, very powerful, this question, and very deep. In my case, it is like when I'm letting go everything. Like I'm so used to be the manager, to be in control, and to be, things are on my way. But the uncertainty has its own magic as well, And when I'm letting go and trust the process, that's when magical things happening in my life, because I'm really, really surrender the moment present, and miracles happening. Okay, that's major words, but it's just beautiful things happening to me when I just let go, you know.
Yeah, I feel like the moment I'm true to my magic, and I'm trying to work on it to happen more often. But for now, I feel like it's when I teach yoga, and I feel like I show the deepest true self to my students on the yoga mat. And it's both in the yin practice when people stay for 5 minutes in each pose, and I give them the so-called Dharma talk, or when I somehow philosophize and let them listen to, to different things, different lectures in a way. I wish I would be more like that with my friends, but right now I feel like I have a bit of trouble opening up to others. And sometimes I even feel like I don't want to open up in front of myself, if that makes sense. Like, I would love to dance more often just for myself at home, or I would like to roll on the floor and play music and feel the feminine part, because that's what we're talking about. But there is something blocking it, and I can't put my word on it. But when I'm with my friends, perhaps when there's a lot of them, I can't show my magic. It stops. It's hidden under. And I don't know really why. So I'm working on that, being more authentic and to be more who I am on the outside as well, not just inside. That makes sense.
Like you expressing that because it's an ongoing process. Even I've been working with this in years, and I know Janice has too. And this is an ongoing process. It never stops. We keep growing like nature. We keep growing like the trees, and it will never stop. It will, but that you are aware of that, and that you want to keep working on that the way you presented it. That's the beautiful way that, and that's the path. That's the path to essence. I really liked it very, very much.
But how about you, Yasmin?
For me, it's like it now comes in a natural way, but sometimes as I'm a human, and sometimes I can also feel that this anger, for example, that is very related to masculinity, it might come up, and then I will see, oh, what's happening, and observing myself, that why am I reacting to. So for me, it's also an ongoing to create this balance. Janice mentioned something earlier about how we uh, take the masculinity from our partner because we are so strong, and we have to remember that our position is to support them, to give them the support they need so they can grow. And we I see many couples that the women are like, you have to do this and you have to do that and you have to behave like that, and we don't let them breathe. So that's also a part of being masculine, and we need to be supportive to them. Maybe learn to let go, like autumn, let the leaves go and say, your responsibility, you do that. But it's an ongoing process all the time. And the thing is that as by being aware, by being loving, and when I mean being loving, it's not forgiving if you've been hurt. It's like saying, you don't hurt me. It's like saying, I don't accept that lovingly. Uh, Janice said, I think a couple of podcasts back, she said about being cruel to be happy. It's like to cut with healthy limits to other people. That's the part of being cool. You have to tell the truth, but at the same time, accepting that I understand that you feel bad. But it's not about lying. It's not about pretending. It's about being authentic. And here we see a very good example with Veronica, how she opens herself to topics. Maybe sometimes I will open to topics that I don't want to talk about. So this is about the path, about the essential, the essence, about being authentic to ourselves and to our path. That's what I believe.
I would like to have the people who are watching us now to just for a moment think about the feminine and masculine energy, and when during the day they have more of which, and if they find time for both.
And also May I say something for
Sure.
all the males that are listening to this? We honor you for all the masculine side that they are here. For the males that are listening to us, we wouldn't complement the feminine side without the masculine side. So thank you for coming, for listening to this podcast, by the way.
And to close, I would like to read a little bit. The feminine is where the magic begins. She is the silence before action, the darkness before the light, and the love that holds everything together. And the balance between the masculine and the female is what makes life worth living. Thank you very much, Janice. Thank you very much, Veronica. And thank you very much to myself for being in here and to all of you for listening and supporting us. Bye-bye.
Bye.